The rodeo turned 92 years old this year, and that comes with a rich and extensive history that you can now learn a little bit more about. Joining me this morning to talk about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo History exhibit is Chairman of Western Art Committee Bob Nelson and Executive Director of Heritage Society Allison Bell. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me.
Good morning. How are you?
So go ahead and talk to us about the history of Rodeo Houston throughout the decades.
Well, it's the 92nd year. This is our first time at actually running our museum style concept. Allison and I kind of worked on it way back in August, and it's taken 3 months to develop, to show 92 years into a building.
Yeah.
2 days to put it in, and it's got some of the most amazing pieces, starting with, basically let's go with the beginning of the trail rides. Saltgrass Trail Ride, we have that in there, and that was probably wagon one. I mean, that cranked it all up. We really go in depth about our educational fund. Mr. John Jordan was the president and also the CEO of the rodeo. That is one of his dear projects. People don't realize how we break the money up. I mean, when we're raising money, we're $600 million in this year. We're going to donate $27 million to scholarships coming into this year. So it's a big number. We really have a lot of fun. Well, we get to showcase FFA. We're showcasing mutton busting, calf scramble, some of our key pieces. Leon Coffey's been an amazing ambassador, not just for rodeo, but for our community and the kids that he sees. So there's quite a few pieces. And she got lucky this year. She got one of our pieces, Sherwin Ovid. It's a clown called the Humorous Hero from '97. We're actually going to have him in this weekend. So he'll be in for the remainder of the show coming in Thursday. So we're going to try and bring him back over to her play.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's kind of a surprise for her that we were able to lock him in. He's flying in. We'll have him in the afternoon Thursday, and then we're going to try and put a face with him next to his piece in her building.
Yeah, Allison, tell us more about the exhibit.
My building, I love it. We're the Heritage Society. This is our 70th year, and we know we have a collection of 10 historic houses. So we're all about history, all about Houston history, and we are so proud to have this exhibit. It is beautiful, it is cumulative, and it's the 4 tenets of the rodeo, which Bob can talk about, are highlighted in different sections. We also have some beautiful signed guitars. We host a lot of school kids, so the first thing I take them over and say, there's Taylor Swift's guitar, and of course the girls go crazy. We have Dolly Parton's guitar. So it's such a fun exhibit, and so many vintage photos. There's a photo right in that case of Frank Sinatra and Glenn McCarthy in the parade in the 40s.
How amazing is that? And how do we have these? How were you able to preserve these artifacts?
We have a room that we basically, a lot of it comes from Parade magazine that we've been able to archive. And then we also get some of the committee volunteers. We're 35,000 strong, and think about over 92 years, some of the artwork that's passed down from family member to family member, we're able to archive.
Been in committees for generations now.
Well, we've got these amazing outfits. We did a little project on, well, the concept came up a couple days ago that we're thinking about pulling them out and putting some of our dignitary women in it, and some of the old classic outfits for next year, just to kind of possibly like a little fashion show with some of the vintage stuff.
I'm sure you're already thinking about the 100th celebration, right? I mean, that's gonna sneak up fast. We're gonna have a centennial celebration of the rodeo.
We have already been on bark on that 2 years ago. We've started working on that.
Yeah.
This particular project that we've done with the museum was our first run at trying something unique. And now that we know that was just a small footprint of what we have, we plan on blowing it out.
That's amazing. Yeah. And so how much would it cost to visit this?
It is only $5. $5, you see this beautiful exhibit. We also have a permanent general store that was donated to us straight out of the 1800s. Kids love to come in there, play with the toys, see what a real ice box looks like, wooden toys. So it's all part of that exhibit. And like I said, only $5. We are open Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just walk in. You don't need a reservation.
When's the last day to check out the rodeo exhibit?
This beautiful exhibit will be up until the end of July. I might make it longer if you don't mind.
We're having
keep
fun
surprising me with new things.
Well, we've gotten the committees to come out. In fact, when we did the unveiling, it was also our badge release party. party and our kind of inaugural day. We had a lot of people come out, and now some of the committees are taking part. You ought to bring your crew out there and just do a happy hour at your own place.
I love the sound of that. That's really great. So when you're going through the decades of history that the rodeo has, what were some of the artifacts that really surprised you? Was there stuff that you said, oh, I didn't know we ever did this, or I didn't know we had this?
Well, people don't realize, perfect example, FFA, that's pretty much one of our, cornerstones.
Sure.
Well, there was a time period where the women weren't allowed to be part of it. They were called sweethearts of the FFA. We were able to secure one of those jackets. And not only that, it was one of my past chairman and officer, Lisa Jimerson's mom. But come to find out, Pat Man Phillips, who is our chairman of the board, she was one of them. So, and we're trying to recreate some of these pieces, because as you start walking through there, hey, I can't find mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's little pieces along the way. Look, we've got some amazing bronzes. We've got a guy named Gary Plotkin, who's a lifetime director, who's really curated quite a few pieces and put them on loan that we've got to distribute between the Tejas Room, LVPs, along amongst the grounds, not to mention in this particular facility. And it's a beautiful exhibit.
Yes, it is. We're also a part of Photo Fest this year, which is a citywide photography exhibit, and you all highlight a photographer,
A.D. Hatton. He's one of our Western Art Committee members, but he's also part of PRCA, and he is part of Cowboy World. And we've kind of let him kind of go bananas on taking pictures everywhere, so if you get a chance to look at some of his stuff,
yes. And he came to the badge party and he didn't know his photos were on the wall, and he was blown away. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we like to do. If you're part of the thing, it's kind of perfect example. Julie Bass, she's one of our she would be a chief, literally right behind Chris Bowman, and she is actually showcased in an FFA thing. As you walk in, and she walked in and looked at it, she sees herself. It's like, we're constantly trying to, well, you don't ever know until you see what we get done, because we're not going to tell you until we do it, because we want to make everybody go, wow, they were contributing. So all these volunteers don't know they see it until sometimes they walk past, and that's them when they were a kid, or that's, we kind of showcase that.
The wow factor is huge at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and I mean, it's just such a part of Houston history. So thank you for creating this exhibit and letting the whole public be able to enjoy it.
Hey, thank you for contributing.
Yes, thank you.
Letting us be a part of your show for this.
Yeah, we hope that people will now come out and enjoy it. Allison Bell, Bob Nelson, thank you for joining us this morning.